So after I messed my worm bin up, I literally had to take everything out. To be honest, I'm a little nervous doing this because I do not want to mess the worms up, but I kind of have to if I want to save them long term. So I'm just going to go ahead and start swapping the material over here in the wet bin. And yeah, it's super moist. The worms at the bottom are getting a little bit settled, so if you look here, and I'll zoom in as well so you can see the worms moving, but there are a few that are just kind of sluggish, moving slow. Some of them are just sleeping, so I want to go ahead and get these guys out and try not to stress them out too much. There we go. And while you're taking this wet material out, it's important to know that even though, oh, I got a little worm ball here. Let me show you guys that real quick. So a tiny little worm ball. That's really cool. And they're alive. They're still doing well, so they're surviving, which is good. So the conditions aren't super deadly, but we still want to ensure that we get these guys out into the new bin and we start fixing the actual problem. So while I'm moving this material, I'm just going to be adding, layers of dried cardboard on top as well, just to ensure that I do get all that excess moisture out. All right. Trying to be as gentle as possible to not rip the worms apart. There's another worm cluster right there. I did feed these guys as well, so what you're seeing here, that's not actually fungus. That's some cabbage that I gave these guys. They started working on it already, which is really good. That means they're eating. But I do, and obviously the worms are gathered here a lot more, as you can see. If they're gathered here, that means they're still feeding, which is a good sign. But you still want to make sure we're gentle with these guys. There's a lot more popping up right there, if you can see that. When they're alive, which is very positive, that's a very good sign. Still want to spread as much of that material out as we can into the bin. Try to fluff it out a little bit as well, just so that a little bit of fungi here. That's actually really good. A lot of times it's from the dead worms. So I might even take this out. If you want to use gloves, that's probably advised, but I'm not really afraid of those things. I'm going to wash my hands anyways. But we're getting all this material out and into the new bin. And you should be seeing a bunch of worms. If you look right here, you'll see some worms as well. Just slowly, gently spreading these guys out. Right here, you'll see a bunch of activity as well. I'm definitely waking these guys up because they're here, they're alive. But I do feel where at the bottom of the bin there's water sitting. So I do want to fix that. And again, the sprinkling dry cardboard in between, making it more fluffy instead of it being compacted, because when it's compacted like this, and I had the bin sitting for a while, what happens is the airflow and the oxygen is way less. Look at that guy. I don't think he made it. He didn't make it. We'll leave him up top just in case he does decide to come back. But when it's compact like that, there's not a lot of oxygen flowing through the bin. And that's why you'll start to see these guys kind of coming up to the top, escaping through the bottom. And we're almost done. Reaching good headway. Try to fluff that out as much as possible. That way these guys get oxygen flowing through there. It's super wet. I can actually feel it. It's a little bit more wet than a dry sponge. So I'm just adding that dry material, dried cardboard in between. That way it helps to soak up and balance the water moisture. Yep, I'm seeing a lot of these guys just going cold turkey on me because they couldn't breathe. It was too wet down there. There are still a majority of them are still alive. I'm probably down to maybe like 450 or so, which is still a pretty good number considering we started at 500. You will have some losses. This guy might make it. We'll put him in. And I'm almost done with all the material. I'm removing all the dead worms that more than likely died from suffocation. It does happen. It's not the happiest situation, but we learn and we pivot, and that's why I'm here, to make sure that you guys do not make the same mistakes that I made. And I do see some water settling at the bottom as well, which is not the end of the world because we can fix it, but it does cause issues for your worms. Get this corner fully picked up. I'm starting to see the bottom of the bin, which is good. And I do see dead worms towards the bottom where they cannot actually breathe. And that does cause a problem for the worms. Look at that guy. He's doing well. All right. I'm just trying to be gentle. I know you guys watch videos and people, you know, just kind of throw the worms all around, which you kind of can do that because they're pretty robust and they're tough. They can manage it, but you want to not stress the worms out as much as possible. Look at that beauty. And you might lose a few worms doing this because obviously, one, you're stressing them out, but two, because you might just, you know, kill them in transition. But for what you're saving, it's going to be a lot bigger. So you do want to keep that in mind. It's not the most fun situation because obviously we want them to all be alive. They got a lot in this corner here. These guys didn't make it. And now, after all of that, I still have to fix the actual bin.